So, confession time. Homesteading and trying to do all this by yourself is not easy. The wonderful, beautiful off-grid life that people will show you. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of wonderful, beautiful things. It's also very hard. I am holed up in bed right now. Basically, I slipped a disc in my back. So a few days ago, there was a snowstorm, or a lot of snow came through. And we live in a big canvas wall tent. So we have to make sure that the snow stays off the roof. We have a really badass wood stove, and so it takes care of most of it. It'll slide off the roof. But the thing was that it had snowed a little bit a few days before that, or a week before that. And so what was left over from that was just ice. And there was like a little ridge of ice along the edge of the roof that was preventing some of the snow from sliding off, or at least as much as I wanted to with how much snow was coming in. Long story short, I was up most of the night just keeping an eye on things, and of course I checked the roof of the tent a couple of times, and the last time I kind of just wanted to get everything off because I wanted to go to sleep. So I worked pretty diligently to make sure everything was off the roof, because it was still snowing, but it wasn't going to snow for that much longer. Well, when I woke up, I mean, that all went fine, but when I woke up, I had a backache, right? And I was like, I don't know what I did. I didn't feel anything happen. It's just really uncomfortable. It hurts a lot. And so I took it easy for a day. Today, I had to do a couple of chores. So what I needed to do was take the pee bucket out to dump it, right? So we have an outhouse. It's wonderful, but when it's extremely cold outside, I don't like going out in the sub-zero temperatures, right? So I have a little bucket in here with like a little toilet seat on top of it and pee in that. Some reason, I guess because I had already strained my back a little bit, carried the bucket all the way out to where I was going. I went to lift it, and it just felt like my entire back went out from underneath me. Straight pain. I had no strength left. I have a very high pain tolerance. I almost vomited because it hurt so bad. I couldn't see straight. I went down. I tried to go down as gently as possible because I was not trying to pour that bucket of pee all over myself. But when I tell you that I went down, and I could not get back up. I didn't have my phone with me. I was probably out there for about 15 minutes trying to get up on my own. I was on my knees, like trying to use fallen trees and stumps and things like that to get myself up, and I just couldn't do it. Like I said, I didn't have my phone. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm gonna have to yell for my husband. He was back in the tent. But I could hear that he had his phone on. So he was like listening to a TV show or something. And he usually listens out really loud, and he has bad hearing to begin with. So I was like, I do not know if this man is going to hear me. So I'm like, babe, nothing, babe, nothing. I waited for a second, and finally I hear, babe, are you okay? And I was like, no, just come here. I have to put on my shoes. I was like, okay, we're just yelling across the forest, right? It's echoing everywhere. Thankfully, he came out there. Now, here's the kicker. I had hurt my back, right, a few days prior. Well, like the next day, he hurt his back. He threw his back out trying to shovel snow. We were just a mess right now. So his back is not 100% either. When he got out there, he was like, what happened? Are you okay? And I was like, I slipped a disc. I am not okay. Like, I can't get up. I don't know how to get up. So very slowly but surely, he helped me, and I was moving real slow. He had to help me up the stairs. Like, it was pathetic. I have been so sad all day, and because I'm not the kind of person that could be holed up. I'm always doing stuff, right? I don't care if I'm in pain. I'm gonna power through it, which is probably why I'm having these back problems now. But I have been miserable just sitting here. He won't let me do anything. I was trying to help with a fire, and even when I try, I just can't. It's pathetic. And I feel like such an old lady. I just want to get up and help. And now I'm just sitting here. He went to go get food. This sweet, sweet boy. I love him to death. He's being so good to me. I feel so awful. Being out here ain't always easy. This is definitely not going to be easy for everyone. For anyone. It won't be easy for anyone. You're going to have days where you're stuck in bed because you threw your back out trying to empty your pee bucket. So, just fair warning.
Okay, what did you have to say about it?
So from my perspective, I was like watching a video, like laying here, because I hurt my back the night prior, and so I was like kind of watching like a guy play a horror video game. All of a sudden I heard, and I was like, was that in the game? And so I rewound it, and I was like, I didn't there's nothing in there. And then no one did that. And I was like, oh, Babe's been gone for a while. And I went, Babe, and yelled out, and I didn't hear anything. I was like, oh no. And so I yelled, Babe, and you're like, ah. And I was like, do you need me to come out there? And you were like, yes. And I was like, okay, hold on. So I put on my stuff and ran out there, hobbled out there, basically. When I got out there, she was on all fours. And I was like, what's wrong? You're like, my back. It was just pure magic that we both had busted back. So I had to like help her up, and then we both hobbled back to the tent together. And I ended up calling in sick that night because one of us needed to tend the fire, and I now was the most able-bodied person.
Together we were still about 1/3 of one person.
Yeah. And it's funny because we were talking today about it, and you were like, oh, my right side is like, I hurt my right side. And I was like, oh, I hurt my left side. So we make one whole 100% back right now. So
I don't know. I still feel like we're probably at 75% total.
If that. But yeah, that was my perspective of the story.
Thanks, babe.